saving the climate and the planet and biodiversity is not about waiting, it's about doing something now.
And our aim and objective is to work together to make Stowmarket a dementia-friendly community. So I have regular contact with care homes. We go out, we do activities and projects with them, as well as working closely with Red Gables.
So we are a volunteer group who are all about, we want action in Stowmarket, we want to see it rewilded, and we want to see beautiful flowers and protect the trees.
Obviously MIDS have adopted their climate change emergency motion some time ago. We've got a biodiversity plan. We've also got the same at the town council now, having recently adopted a biodiversity plan.
It's not only great for tennis, it's a wildlife haven.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Walks and Wanders. In today's video we're looking at an idea my neighbour Judith Thompson had down at Danecroft Cottage. I think it's about donating 2021 snowdrop bulbs to the town of Stowmarket where we live. So I'm just wandering down here now to go and hear what the big idea is. It's been a while since we've had an episode of Danecroft Diaries. If you haven't seen the previous episodes of Danecroft Diaries, which is all about the cottage that Steve and Judith live in and their grounds and woodland, I'll leave a link to the playlist above and in the description. But now let's go and find out what the big idea is about 2021 snowdrops.
This particular project of sharing the snowdrops came from the idea of raising awareness about biodiversity and climate change, and that emergency is real. Most importantly, that everybody can do something. You know, you tend to watch telly and think, this is beyond me and interesting, but actually everybody can do something. And so a group of people got together in the autumn to talk about rewilding, and by rewilding, I like to think of it really as nurturing nature and wildlife. And we do need a greener town for all the right reasons. We decided, coming out of lockdown, it would just be a nice gesture to share something that we've got. And we've got plenty of snowdrops, and they do bring a cheer. They also represent remembrance, hope, and overcoming challenges. So linking all of those things up with the time being right to share stories with the wider community. So it links with that project, which has been a research project, a lot about Danecroft and the River Valley, a lot about saving Tinkler's Meadow, which is at the tip of the Rattleston River Valley in Stowmarket, saving it from speculative building. It just felt right and it was doable. We had a plan agreed with the town council to put them on the Rec, because that's such a fabulous green local space. Sadly, that just got thwarted by logistics, because on the date that people were available to help us from the town council, we had 3 of us to plant 2021 snowdrops, and it became unrealistic. So it's your fault, Dawn. You are a catalyst, I would say, in getting this done, because Tuesday night it was all off and thought, we've got to do this after months of wanting to do it. So you and I were chatting, and I just remembered the name, or that you had a contact with someone who was really keen and supportive of lots of care homes and people who were feeling isolated and lonely across the town. And you handed me your phone. You thought, why don't we just dial her now? I'd never met her, never heard of her. But Fiona Palmer, you saved the day. Thank you. And after one phone call with Fiona, because I knew by then that we needed a plan where more than 3 or 4 of us were going to be involved, because we couldn't plant that many snowdrops. So through Fiona and her contacts, she's the chairperson of the Dementia Action Alliance in Stowmarket, Shari McGarry, Stowmarket Eco Future Group, was always willing to be hands-on and help plant, and Colin Lay at Red Gables. Colin had already agreed when we thought they were going on the wreck, if my husband and I, Steve, could dig them up, he would care for them, look after them, keep them cool, keep them in the green until we were ready. So the four of us just really out of the blue and speedily, talk about Zoom, we zoomed, and hey presto, and we thought 2021, through lockdown people have struggled to make new memories, and so for the town to make a memory, not only for people with dementia but for the general townspeople, to actually plant 2021 in 2021 kind of was a good memory. The other people that came on board, I play tennis. I know the tennis club is part of Stow Stories, celebrating 120 years this summer, and they are rewilding the grounds of the tennis club. So it's all about working together, coming together, nurturing people, land, and the natural world together. 2019 we had to cancel. We've had lots of open events here, opening the garden for charity, different times over the last 20 years. And in 2019 we had 2 snowdrop events which had to be cancelled because of gale force winds and all the rest. 2020 was gone because of lockdown and coronavirus. So 2021, instead of people coming here for the snowdrops, we've taken the snowdrops to people. Nice to meet you. This is Don Egan, my friend and neighbour, and friend of Red Gables.
He does the walks and stuff. Yes,
Yeah, Don walks and wanders a lot.
Rambles on.
And most of the snowdrops are here, Don. I thought I'd bring reinforcements. We're going to divide them up into hundreds, count them.
Yeah, there's a table over there.
There's a table over there, count them.
Just one? I thought we were having several tables. So
Couple of tables.
In that bowl there's 121.
Okay.
And so we use them for the spinny. I know Red Gables the least of you all, but I think take us to the table, Dawn. Oh, isn't that a lovely sight? That is gorgeous.
If we separated them out, then
I
we
think
have
we'll
sixes.
separate. So what I'm thinking is, I put onto that, I made a nest. I thought snowdrops deserved a little nest. So I just made a little nest, please. I literally, because you'll find they're in a bundle like that, but I knocked off some of the soil, and they split really easily. But then sorry about this, but I was quite precise. I did count them out, and when we're planting, I'm suggesting we plant them in 5s. So I got 5, and I placed the centre in the middle. I got another 5 and was adding it up in the head, 5, 10, 20, 30, etc. until I got 100. Then I propped them up on my plate. I think I'm on a cookery program.
I'm waiting for the here's one I prepared earlier.
Here's one of it. That's it, Don. And then I just thought the plate would stop, if they needed a bit of water, it would stop them getting soggy. I wrapped that in string. I think it's now turned to Blue Peter. Definitely. Wrap that in string. My intention is to then cut this hessian and make a little hessian bag to just sit them in and tie a bit of string round there. So with spades, which Colin's got, wiggle it about, turn it round,
That's an angle of.
just to make it so that you can get it down. And they were growing right from there, so they need to be planted deeply. And I just then push them right down. This slit isn't wide enough, but it's a demonstration, so I'm allowed. Now, and then I'm going to dig them up and do it together, but then heel them in.
So we got involved with this because it's a wonderful way of bringing beauty to Stowmarket, to especially good for the insects, you know, because we have a biodiversity climate at the moment. So bringing back flowers to Stowmarket would be a huge boost for our biodiversity loss. And of course, it's also amazing for people, and the people in the care homes are our almost forgotten people this year. I think they've suffered the most, so it's absolutely beautiful that they are going to have snowdrops to look at next year.
I wouldn't be too worried about watering them in. Yeah, they're in that phase, yeah, absolutely agree. See that slightly down. We've got to pair up the same again until you've got 100, and then as Fiona will show you.
And don't let the hair get in the way.
Kind of make a little bit of a wrapping, and then 100 in a bundle.
So they go.
So we
there.
have to do 5s in groups
Yeah.
of 5 up to 100.
Okay.
So we have to
So
like
we're
count
just
them
bagging
up.
them up.
5 and 5. So we count them up to 100.
My own.
If there were these silly
So-
ones. Am I?
Do you want to get twins?
Yes, need 20 groups out of this hessian. It might work.
Anyone got another 100 bundle yet? Yes. We just got one more roll. Have we got a wrap? You have spare hessian.
Yeah.
Ignore that completely.
Do what you like.
Do
Do whatever you
you
like.
want me to go and fetch him?
Yes, please.
Yeah?
I think so. Thanks for this, honestly. Do you know what? We've decided random is sometimes best.
And where have you harvested the snowdrops
Oh,
from?
Danecroft.
Danecroft. So they all come
Danecroft.
from your...
They're all from our
Right.
land, and we thought so many need splitting, and we just felt it was timely. People have been so neighbourly. Do not down, and you know, I always think of the town. Why? I'm a Geordie, but I do. I love this place,
Yeah.
and I just thought it would be a tribute to the town.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
As lockdown eases, because they're such a cheerful sight.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
Fiona has just been a golden nugget in terms of connecting to all the places, the care homes, the places.
Right, good.
And it's been a real pleasure to get connected with Judith. Not only just because of the snowdrops being so beautiful, but also the symbol of about being able to start coming out. One of the things we've found is that people have felt very older people and people in care homes, and actually people with disabilities, and I think actually everyone has really suffered with regard to the sense of not being able to hug, touch. So actually touching is quite a nice thing today, and also the opportunity that it's something that's going to come again next year, and kind of hopefully remind us in a nice way of what we've been through, and hopefully what we can look forward to. So when Judith contacted me and said, I think she was with you at the time, Don, that she'd like this project and this opportunity, it was fantastic. It gave me an opportunity to engage with the care homes. As an alliance, we work with lots of organisations, and our aim and objective is to work together to make Stowmarket a dementia-friendly community. So I have regular contact with care homes. We go out, we do activities and projects with them, as well as working closely with Red Gables, the leisure centre. We have some marvellous walks that we do. So nature is really kind of a living and breathing what we touch and do. I reached out, contacted care homes, and the responses were wonderful. Many of them are currently planning a garden at the time and replanting and refreshing their gardens. And to know that they'd been thought of and remembered, I think that was one of the strongest words that came out. How wonderful you've thought of us. So I'm really looking forward to getting these to them. What we've said is what would be lovely is the memories that snowdrops, nature, and growing and seeing spring come, that can re-engage and reminisce for people, and that's really people of all ages. I also contacted Leading Lives, who support people living with learning disabilities, and again it was wonderful. They would welcome and love the bulbs, and they're really looking forward to planting them together as well. So they're in Stowmarket. Sierra Care, who go into people's to support people in their own homes, so wonderful. We're taking some bulbs to people's homes as well to enjoy. And then the Dementia Together service, which is a service that supports people with early diagnosis, with living with dementia, giving help, support and advice. And again, Anne-Marie for Stowmarket reaches out to people on a regular basis, so again she'll be looking forward to delivering some to them as well.
Hi,
Hello.
How you doing? All right?
Yeah, not bad. You all right?
Yeah, very good.
Hello. Oh. Yeah, we've got some very excited care homes and sheltered housing schemes who are really looking forward to getting these.
And they're all around Stowmarket?
Well, they're all in Stowmarket, yes. Yeah, the furthest one we may go to is Jubilee Court in Scotland.
Yep.
They've asked for some.
Oh, good.
So it was lovely just to make a phone call and get such excited responses, and so appropriate because so many homes are doing their gardens at the current time.
Well, gardens have been a sort of a salvation for people, haven't they? If you've got a garden at the moment, one of the few things you can actually do, isn't it? See, Mid-Suffolk adopted their climate change emergency motion some time ago. We've got a biodiversity plan. We've also got the same at the Town Council now, having recently adopted a biodiversity plan where we're planning to do lots of different things, change the way that we manage all of the land that we own. It will include rewilding around the outside of the recreation ground amongst other sites that we own. We've got a Bio 100 project, which is to create 100 mini biodiverse habitats, which could be anything from bat boxes, bird boxes, wood piles to encourage, the smaller creatures. In fact, here we've got, I think we've got a new hive here, actually a new beehive, which the Town Council, Red Gables, applied for funding through our grant scheme, and we gave them a community fund grant. You've been to see us at the Pickerel project, and we've planted 100 saplings along the riverbank. We're hoping that they all take. Obviously they're close to the water, so hopefully they will. So lots of things. I think people are really aware of the fact that the damage that we've done to the planet as human beings, and are trying to do what they can in order to redress that balance, which is really good. Very pleased to come today to see this rewilding taking place, and very pleased to know that snowdrops are going around to different care homes in Stowmarket as well, because that will give residents a real joy. And I always think with snowdrops, it's the first flower really that you see after Christmas, and it's that sign of there's good things to come, there's hope to come, and we definitely need some hope at this time, and I think that's really great.
That's how we will go out to the different.
I think if we were to plant them in the circle, that's going to be the main focal point
lovely.
for events, and hopefully with the accessible ramp, this will be our main area all year round. I find this area down here really
really relaxing. It's a lovely area now.
Fantastic.
And the fact that it should be, hopefully it should be preserved for the use of the project here.
And for other people. Fiona was saying, you know, that there's the Dementia Alliance Awareness Raising Week, I think, which I didn't know about, something like May the 17th.
Yeah.
And I think because this has worked so well, we're thinking as a little group we can do something seasonally.
Town Council did have a discussion, and so did the district, about what might happen to this because the fire station is moving.
Oh yeah.
So I think what's thankfully happened is this particular little copse here has been kept separate from that project over there that the council will probably redevelop once that building's gone. But it's just that nice area, you know, you wouldn't know you were in the middle of the town here. And it's so nice that you can just come in here and sit and relax. And the other good thing about it is it's not overly manicured, is it? It's what nature wants. It wants nice little piles of dead wood and those sorts of things.
So I said to him,
So I think quite an important feature of a town like Stowmarket.
It's fab. So hopefully we'll try and get some more bulbs ready for, you know, the autumn time drives.
And the tennis club are going to be rewilding on their land, and it's actually a really magical place like Danecroft, because most people don't even know the tennis club's here. Look at the tennis club. It's beautiful. It's stunning. It's absolute stunning grounds. Sally is so keen to ensure the tennis club is part of mental and physical well-being for all ages, and that's why it was just wonderful that they're part of the snowdrop planting.
Although it's called a lawn tennis club, that's the name of the sport, but in fact we have 5 tarmacadam courts, and we've been on this site since 1985. But what's really special about this site is that this was the brickworks. This quarry built Stowmarket, and it was only when it became redundant and we were moved off our old site because the town was developing that we got to acquire this fantastic site. It's not only great for tennis, it's a wildlife haven. And especially during the lockdowns in the pandemic, if you came down here and there was no one playing, you could see that the wildlife was really enjoying it as much when we weren't here as it does when we are here. So we're lucky enough we've got our own lake. We have our own tree canopy that protects us from the worst of the wind when we're playing tennis. We have our own little microclimate here because we're down in the dip. And we even have some little gems, and you won't be able to see them now because they're only just emerging and we've just marked them on this bank. But we have a large number of bee orchids on this bank. And our idea is, if we can, make the site look well loved and well cared for, but also managed so that it is good for the flora and fauna that we are sharing it with, then that will be the best way we can celebrate the club's 120th birthday, which is this year. So our idea about the snowdrops, even before we partnered with Judith over this, was that we would be able to bring from our own gardens little bits of Stowmarket and bring it into the club. We've also changed with the help of a grant, and I have to say we've had grant help from Sport England and from Mid Suffolk District Council.
And Stowmarket Town Council.
And from the individual councillors of the town and the villages. And they've all contributed, and we've been able to both do the work on the clubhouse but also to change to LED lighting. And the effect of that is that we will have an electricity bill and therefore a saving for the environment. So we will be only using 38% of the electricity we were using before this pandemic.
So we're going to do this as a joint, just to launch nature nurture together, or nurture together, and start. So if you want to just pull out and choose, maybe we tend to put just 5 in the hole.
Okay.
So just separate any 5, Sally, because you've got well over, I think you've got about nearly 400 in there. And then you just heel it closed, Sally, and you're done. The start, the fab.
And they will just grow.
They'll be lovely along there. And of course, Sally, we're doing this on behalf of the whole town residents because of COVID-19 we couldn't have a public event to plant. One more right over here.
I hope you enjoyed that video. I found it quite profound and quite moving in parts. So do join us next time. It's going to be another Danecroft Diaries. We're having a group of university students coming to test the river rat here, and a couple of river ecology experts are coming with them. Looking forward to that. So thanks for watching today. Don't forget to click the red subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos, and let's walk together soon.